Okay, it's the end of February. I'm at the viewing room in Aberdeen. I've been mentioning to everybody that the small painting show in Ballater has been extended by a week. And then the spring-summer show, all new paintings, starts on the 14th of March. But because you're registered on our mailing list or with our social media or Facebook channels or whatever, YouTube, you're getting a little bit of a heads up to see what's arriving here in Aberdeen before we curate the actual show out in Ballater. So I'm very cocky, very excited, because everybody knows I am in my element with Joe Hargan paintings. He is to watch. I don't say that I have too many favourites, but I love everything about Joe Hargan's paintings and him. His mind works in different ways about what he puts together in his paintings. And I'm pretty sure Joe said to me, I think we've sold more paintings than any other gallery of his in the last few years, because we have so many people, clients all around the world who are buying Hargans. So I'm going to move away from this cacophony of colour and tell you a little bit about the paintings. Joe has won so many awards, it's a waste of time starting. He's an alumnus of Glasgow School of Art. He, the Paisley Art Institute, he's like the leader of the pack there. He's Glasgow Art Club. He is a Glasgow man. He's married to an Edinburgh girl. And they have such a passion for art and such a knowledge that I'll never have. And when you really look into a Hargan, it's not just a bright colour with a fat man and a horse. There's so much more. Come and have a look at these incredible new Hargans. So we're going to start off, Tom, with a painting called A Dog's Life. I don't know why it's called A Dog's Life, but there is a wee dog, as Joe would say, right at the bottom. Fabulous colours. Why is the lady sitting there and the dog looking a bit cocky? Who's the second glass of red wine for? Why have the bowl of apples almost toppled over? You have masterpieces in the background, which could well be Canaletto, or sometimes he uses Singer Sargent, but there's always masterpieces in the background. And then there's also symmetry in architecture and the Harlequin floor. Classic Hargan, including the frame. It's very close to a metre by a metre. And look at the high quality of frames with black and real gold leaf. Nip down, Tom, to the next painting. A lot of you know that my dog Basil sadly died a few weeks ago. And yes, I love the fact that Joe brings in Mr. Sniffy and the connection with animals. So that's my boy, has a whippet, I think it would be, to the left, with a glass of red wine underneath and a glass of red wine up above. Do you know, I'm showing my ignorance again. I'm trying to think where that is in the background. I think it's Venice, perhaps. Anyway, and you look at the fireplace, you look at the china ornament, you look at the apple, and then you look at the cockerel, and then very, very closely, Tom, if you see the bottle of wine which is spilling down the wall. So can you imagine this in a fabulous dining room and people are talking about it? It's just got fun, it's got devilment, it's got great colour, bringing in turquoises, and I think you would call that a green, a sort of lightish green, almost veering on a bluish green. So we've got A Dog's Life, That's My Boy, and let's go up here. Continuing, just superb colours. I know nothing about horses, but I would have this painting in a heartbeat. Not so much because of the greens, not so much about the horse, but because of the greens. And I love the way there's a cat sitting on the horse. I love the way there's the calling card of an ace of hearts lying on the plinth next to a lovely simple bunch of flowers. I should have done my research. Well, here's the question to all the people who are watching this video. That's a well-known masterpiece in the background. Is it Klimt? It might be. No, I thought at one moment when I glanced Frida Kahlo, but it's not. It's just showing Joe's skill again with colour. You're looking here, there must be 10 different shades of green. You're looking at the Harlequin floor, you're looking at the painting, you're looking at apples, you're looking at landscapes, you're looking at such a great ability, and again, the fun. Going up to this painting, Tom, this is called, I think, Overview. And sorry, we jump around in our gallery from centimetres to inches. In simple terms, this is 20 by 20 inches, which including the frames, a really good size, probably about 30 by 30 inches. There's a lot happening. I am pretty sure that's a Canaletto of Venice in the background. I love the fact, again, like one before, we've got the calling card. But what is Mr. Sniffy pouring? What is the aloof-looking lady on her tiptoes for, looking above? Why she got some wilting white flowers? I think it's a whippet underneath her, looking rather cheekily as if it's about to pounce at the apple. And again, showing Joe's ability with colour. I think you've got more than a dozen types of blue in this painting. But do you know what the funniest thing is? You don't look at it and say, what a blue painting. Beautifully framed in a slightly distressed silver leaf in grey. And then let's move down, Tom, to the great big piece, Little Fish. Now, Joe finishes off all his paintings with glass. You don't have to have glass. That's his style. Jack Morocco's similar. I think Glenn Schooler's a bit similar. But you can take the glass off because of the quality of the oil paints now. This painting is quite rare because he's not put Mr. Sniffy in. And I said to Joe, and these always sell, funnily enough, the paintings without Sniffy as well, because he wanted balance, he wanted fun. And it's called Little Fish, and you've got the fish sitting there. You've got a little French bulldog or something there. But what you've got to love is the cheekiness of the lady in the bath. You've got the 3 masterpieces on the wall behind, blending beautifully. And it's just the cheekiness of sitting there with a cake stand with a full afternoon tea, but you still have the glass of wine, the ubiquitous burger, which is in so many of Joe's paintings, which recurs, and the books. So all the types of things that you might enjoy in a bath, a burger, reading a book, having a glass of red wine. Now, there's another painting that is on its way here, but didn't quite make it for the video. It's a cracker. It's called A Little Sniff. So it's another Hargan with a wee dog, and it's a wee sniff, maybe an adaptation of Mr. Sniffy in the title. And look at the colour of the reds. Is it red? Is it pink? Joe quite often paints fuchsia pink, and they sell very quickly. But this is a cracker because it's almost a reddishy fuchsia pink mix. So that's me finished. Can you tell I'm excited? Well, if I'm not, there's something wrong with me, because I love Hargans. Keep in touch. These will all sell. They always do. Joe Hargan's new work. Some will be at the Ballitor Gallery very soon, but they're all here in Aberdeen, and you can view them or we can WhatsApp. Thank you.